First off, before I come out here with my beast instincts, my man instincts, coming back here on YouTube and being the man myself, and just coming over here showing how much of a dominating machine that I am. Even though there's a lot of these gaming nerds that are going to try to claim that they're good players, but they're not good players at all. They're bad fucking players in general. And quite frankly, I think that this is the time that I come back and make a new video. I mean, it's the month of May, hey, it is what it is. Hey, time goes by. you know, hey, we got lots of things to do though, but hey, I thought of, coming back over here and making another video. This time we're going to make a top 5 video. So to you people to my fellow boys over here that actually came and saw my top 5 best Call of Duty videos, I mean, we all see that. Hey, I made some groundbreaking points about the top 5 Call of Duty games that were out there. And now I've decided to come over here and bring in the top 5 worst Call of Duty games that are on here. And now people are going to be wondering, what's it going to be? Is it going to be the games that we're getting right now? Actually, no. We're talking about the games that came before Warzone. We're talking about the top 5 worst Call of Duty games that came before the Warzone era. Now, keep in mind, the games that are from the Warzone era are disgraceful. They're bottom of the barrel, like the worst type of fish or sushi that you could ever give to Takeo Masaki in the first place. And quite frankly, I think that those games we should not even bother even touching them so that I can put in another video though. So those games are from the Warzone era. I will explain those in another video. But this video right here is going to be talking about the top 5 worst Call of Duty games. Before Call of Duty just went fucking rock bottom and shit, just completely just went to hell and all that with Modern Warfare 2019. But anyhow, these are the top 5 worst Call of Duty games, and I know some of these games you guys are going to be very, very very surprised, or you're gonna be shocked or whatever. But you know what? I'll give a thorough explanation about some of these games and some of these top 5. Some of these games in the top 5 worst Call of Duties that I'm gonna be bringing out. Some of these aren't bad. They're not like terrible or garbage. But they're just not good though. They're just not good games though. And so, I mean, hey, some of these games are overlapped though, but we'll actually give a wide description about it. And hey, if you don't like what I'm saying, then I'm sorry. Then go ahead and find another video for yourself. Okay, I'm gonna leave you a warning right now. Keep in mind these are some of the Call of Duty games that came before the Warzone era. Okay, it's gonna be nothing about that stuff. And again, if that offends you, then go ahead and find yourself another video or something. Okay. All right, so let's get going, guys. So starting at number 5, we're going to start with number 5 is going to be Advanced Warfare. And a lot of people are going to be they're going to be scratching their heads wondering that why am I putting Call of Duty Advanced Warfare in this fucking category? Advanced Warfare was so good, wasn't it? It was great, huh? Well, maybe it could have been good in some ways, the story mode. But let's put it on the list though. Advanced Warfare, I mean, I won't lie to you, man. When I first played this game, man, I just left a bad taste in my mouth at the beginning, though. Quite frankly, I don't know what was Sledgehammer Games thinking. I mean, I get the fact that the story mode was actually pretty good. Jack Mitchell and then Kevin Spacey, and you got Gideon Emery. But let's call a spade, man. You're not here to look at one game mode. You're here to look at every one of the game modes. So what did this game mode have? A campaign, multiplayer, survival, and pretty much exo zombies. Well, here's the deal, right? Multiplayer was just not good, though. It really wasn't good. And quite frankly, there are some good reasons for it, though. Reason number 1 is the elephant in the room. I don't know who thought it was a good idea to bring in those supply drops in those games, but the supply drops in Advanced Warfare were very notorious. It pushed kids into do something known as gambling. And quite frankly, it was a terrible type of option for them to do. And I know the fact it's like monetization, but come on now. Let us play the game, Activision. And another thing about this game is that the zombies, I'm not sure that if the first map had to be behind the DLC paywall, but if that's the case, then there you go. There's a red flag right there for you. The monetization in this game was just a complete, utter travesty. And quite frankly, it was ridiculous. And so another thing about with this game is that it's not a bad game, though, but in reality, it's just not a good game either. It's just that the maps, they were nothing special. And then the guns, there was only like a few good guns in that game. And if you wanted to get like the best, variants of a weapon in the game, like for instance, the BAL 27 Obsidian Steed, you had to pay for supply drops, or you had to grind relentlessly in the game, which kind of killed the whole purpose in general. And quite frankly, I think, honestly, Advanced Sledgehammer Games, I think I kind of saw you with this game though, but you left a bad taste in my mouth with this ridiculous monetization of, like, supply drops. And quite frankly, I mean, I didn't see this game have its pure potential. And quite frankly, I mean, it had this game had to be on number 5. I mean, it's man, it's this game could have been like, could have brought back some of us though. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. And again, some of the core stuff in the game, like the maps, and also the boost jumping as well. It was pretty over the place though. I mean, if it was balanced like it was in Black Ops 3, maybe. But Advanced Warfare again, there was just a lot of things that just left a bad taste in my mouth. Advanced Warfare, not a bad game though, but you had a lot of negatives that I can't even consider you a good game. Next up at number 4 is going to be Call of Duty World War II, and I know a lot of you guys are going to be really, really ticked off at me putting this game on the list though. But I'm going to have to time out. Okay, time out. So we've seen Sledgehammer Games kind of mess up with Advanced Warfare with the supply drops, right? Well, it's apparently in this game, and they did it as usual, putting more supply drops in this game and just ruining the flow of. And here's the thing: the story mode. Here's another thing: the story mode wasn't so bad, even though the campaign was like more of a Hollywood cliche-based shooter game, whatever you want to call it. But story mode, the campaign mode wasn't so bad. The thing about it is, with the multiplayer, is where it really just left a bad taste in my mouth as well. The maps, the launch maps that they brought in there was only like a couple of them that were good. The rest were just bad. They were too close quartered, and it just gave way for more camping. Okay, the guns. There's only like a few good guns in the game. Other than that, you got to go get supply drops just to get the other guns. Like, let's keep it real here, guys. Supply drops are not what, like, the monetization that they put in the game. Again, this was like the elephant in the room with Advanced Warfare in World War II. This is something that, like, completely just left such a shitty taste in my mouth that I didn't even want to bother coming back to it. And so here's the deal, right? The maps, they were not good. I mean, don't get me wrong, they started bringing some maps later on, but it's just like, man, it's too little too late, Sledgehammer. And here's another thing though. The connection in this game was weird. Sometimes it was actually pretty good. Other times it was like, oh man, I kind of wish these dedicated servers were working. And to make it worse is that, like, the only redeeming quality that I found out about this game was the war mode. Because I mean, war mode wasn't so bad though. I mean, it was interesting though. For some points that you got to do like the objectives, you got to go and escort a tank, and then take out a command post or something like that. Those may have been some interesting things though. But for the most part, like for experienced players like me, like myself, Call of Duty veterans, most of us are going to say that this is not a fun game though. At times. And again, there may have been some fun aspects with this game. There may have been some good aspects, like like they brought back some good perks that they didn't even think of bringing in the multiplayer, like for instance, stopping power, which was a must. But other than that, man, there was just a lot of things that I kind of wish they never put at launch. It's just see, the thing is that Advanced Warfare and Call of Duty World War II had like some of the same things with it, though. Like bad connection, bad hit detection, and a ridiculous supply drop menu, basically just letting off a casino for kids to fucking play with. And don't get me wrong, you're going to have kids playing this game, but you need to get rid of the monetization, and that's what really killed this game for me. Call of Duty World War II, I just did not enjoy it at all with this. Supply drop shit. I mean, don't get me wrong. The new stuff that they're bringing in right now, the battle pass is really bad too because it's over monetization. But this was like the beginning of the end. This supply drop thing was at the beginning of the end for this franchise. And I mean, it's quite apparent that Call of Duty World War II. I mean, if I have to give this game, I'd say it's mediocre at best. Though you got a little good, and then you got a little bit of bad. So again, yeah. There was only a few good weapons in the game. Like if I have to choose, it's like the BAR, the STG-44, the PPSH pretty much, and then the grease gun maybe. But other than that, I mean, the shotguns and the and the snipers were like the only real powerhouses of the game. They were the only ones that actually made the game faster to play because sometimes the hit detection can be weird. It can be pretty good at 1 second. It can be really bad in the next second. And again, the thing is that Call of Duty World War II, it's not a terrible game, but there were just some things that were really stupid that I wish Sledgehammer Games had not put in there. Again, campaign wasn't so bad. Multiplayer was a nightmare though, and zombies was just pretty boring. I've seen that before. It's like deja vu all over again. It's just again, there were some things that World at War did that Call of Duty World War II did not do well on, and that's the fact that World at War had better perks than World War II before, like the post launch, And when the game came out, like again, there was a lot of things that should have been fixed in the game. So again, COD World War II, it's not I'm not saying it's like the worst fucking thing in the world though, but it's just there were some things that were just like decisions that the Sledgehammer Games team that made in this game that were just stupid, and it's just I don't even want to bother with that anymore. So hey, kind of the same boat with Advanced Warfare. It's not a bad game, but it's just not a good game either. So I hope that Sledgehammer Games kind of learn from this, and not try to make something like that again. Though again, this could have been COD World War II could have been redeeming though, but hey, bad lag, bad gunfights, and bad launch maps too. By the way, in the beginning, it's just it kind of leaves you a horrible taste in your mouth. It gives you like a horrible taste in your fucking mouth. Anyhow, that's what I think about COD World War II number 4. All right, so now we're going to get into some of the bad games right here. Next up at number 3 is going to be Black Ops 4, Call of Duty Black Ops 4. And I know a lot of you guys are going to go into the comment section. You're going to tell me that I have no idea what I'm talking about with Black Ops 4. But I'm going to tell you something right now. This is the most corniest, most ridiculous Call of Duty game to date made by Treyarch. And I'm going to tell you this right now. This game, I don't know what they were thinking about. See, the thing is that in Black Ops 3, we used to make fun of the specialists a lot in Black Ops 3. In Black Ops 4, now it's a necessity. You literally have to use the specialist weapons and the specialists, their abilities, just to stay alive in this game. And quite frankly, I don't know what Treyarch was thinking. Like, seriously, David Vonderhaar, how about you fly me out of Santa Monica or something, or from Berea College, wherever the hell you live, and actually, let's sit down with a cup of coffee or a cup of tea and maybe probably wonder what the hell were you thinking with this game? I mean, come on now. Overpowered specialist that is a must, 150 health, and come on, man. Lag in this game too. It's so corny. And even Murder Show was literally saying that this game was like the most corniest video game to date, though. And hey, I already told him, hey, I knew that, man. This game was just like the thing is that we used to make fun of Treyarch with a lot of things, right? Okay, like hey, we made fun of Treyarch in Black Ops 2 with like some of the ridiculous cameras that they put in the game, and I mean, and some of the ridiculous connection now is the multiplayer connection where it's connection interrupted, right? But at the end of the day, Black Ops 2 was a good game. Black Ops 2 was a good game. Black Ops 3, it was okay. There was some things that I kind of wish that they actually fixed in that game. But other than that, I mean, hey, the jumping and all that stuff, I mean, hey, we used to make fun of them for that. But hey, Black Ops 3 was an okay game. Black Ops 4, no. This is not a good game at all in the slightest. The thing is that Call of Duty Advanced Warfare in World War II, they may have had a lot of bad aspects in their games, but at least they had some good to make up for it, right? So that's why I didn't put them higher up on the list. I just left them on the bottom right there as the worst Call of Duties. I mean, they're okay, but not something that you want to grind on. This game, Black Ops 4, is a detriment. This game, I don't know what they were thinking about with the specialists in this game, and also the fact that they decided to put like ridiculous stuff in the game, like for instance, these corny little costumes and battle pass and like just a lot of weird shit, especially the Spectre specialist that I put on here as a art title. Why did you bring that motherfucker back? Seriously. It's basically the commando dude from Modern Warfare 2 anyways. But anyhow, Black Ops 4 was just not a good game at all. It was a terrible game. And I even did a stream once of this game. I literally live streamed with this on a broadcast for this fucking game. And I tell you what right now, I did not enjoy 1 second of it. Not even 1 second of this game, I didn't enjoy it. The only thing that I found that was actually redeemable about this game was the zombies premise crew finishing their journey, basically with Blood of the Dead, on zombies. But other than that, man, there's just nothing good about this game. I mean, Blackout, I only played a few matches, but here's the thing. I don't play these 100-player faggot modes anyways, okay? Those are just for faggots. I don't play Warzone, I don't play any of that stuff. I just play regular video games. And quite frankly, there was also no story mode too. There was this Specialist HQ campaign that Treyarch put in the game, but nobody really got interested into it except for a few morons that actually thought that was a good idea. But anyhow, yeah, in true apathy, Black Ops 4, its over reliance on specialist abilities. The guns weren't that good because in the beginning, like you had some weapons that were good, like the ICR and the Rampart. But other than that, man, this game was just trash. It was all over the place. It was so corny. It was just really dumb. And quite frankly, this is just again, this is like one of these games, these Treyarch games. Like I just said, I put the foot on that motherfucker right there. I put the foot on that motherfucker. But anyhow, that's what I believe about this game, though. Like this game clearly was just not a good game, man. It really was not, and it wasn't. It was a terrible game. It's not like one of those games where, like, you could say like, oh, Call of Duty World War II, it may have had some good aspects, some bad aspects, but the fact is, we're not just going to say it's like the worst thing in the world. This game is just again, it's not even that good. And I get the fact that it's boots on the ground though, but let's keep it real here, guys. We've seen some boots on the ground games that are really trash. And as a matter of fact, the next two games that we're going to be talking about, the next two games that I'm going to be exposing, are basically boots on the ground games themselves. So let's get rid of the boots on the ground type of aspect because we all know that that stuff is not going to be relevant at this point anymore. But yeah, but with simplistic reasons though, by the way, Black Ops 4, get rid of the specialists or something. Make it more gun-oriented based and stop making the game look like an Overwatch shooter. Like this game, it's just going to give you in a world of trouble. It's just trying to hype you up, trying to say that this is a great Black Ops game when in reality this is just an Overwatch shooter. That's all it is. That's all Black Ops 4 is. It's just an Overwatch shooter. And before I go on to the number 2 spot, by the way, again, for number 5 with Advanced Warfare, I mean, yeah, the real simple reasons for Advanced Warfare again was the elephant in the room with microtransactions and pretty much the connection and the fact there were like very few guns to choose from to actually really do well on, and that just left the bad. And some of the maps were actually not that good either. But yeah, that's for number 5 for Advanced Warfare. For number 4 with World War II, it's kind of the same thing though, except it's more with the microtransactions for World War II though. All right, and then yeah, for number 3, I could also add another reason: the microtransactions was overpowered. You wanted the VMP? Well, you got to pay extra money for microtransactions. You wanted the millimeter machine gun, that little mini death machine. You got to pay for extra money. You wanted the Galil? You got to pay extra money for that. So hey, that's what you get for Black Ops 4. So yeah, Black Ops 4, terrible game. I got to put it on number 3. Treyarch, you really messed up this time. Okay, so with those reasons for number 5 with Advanced Warfare, reasons for number 4 with COD World War II, and again, I want to say it again, they're not bad games, they're just not good games in general. I kind of wish they actually fixed those games in general. And then Black Ops 4, bad game in general. Coming in at number 2, and I'm gonna keep this real here with you guys, is Call of Duty Ghost. First off, let me tell you this right now. This is a bad game in general, okay? I don't know what was Mark Rubin thinking about or Infinity Ward thinking about with this game, but this is a bad fucking game. Okay, it's unoriginal. It's completely trash. And like looking at like the 3 gaming modes for it: campaign, multiplayer, and then there was a couple other modes like safeguard and pretty much extinction. This is a bad game. Okay. The campaign mode was really bad. It was just completely all over the place. Like even the Act Man exposed about this game mode for Call of Duty Ghost is that the campaign was really just all over the place. It didn't make sense. Most of the time, you're just running around with like balaclavas. And I thought that for sure that this was going to be a game basically, and one of our characters, Simon Riley, who is basically one of those characters from the original Modern Warfare 2. But again, it was ridiculous, and the only redeeming quality I found in the story mode was the attack dog Riley. That's it. I mean, that's all there was, and maybe Keegan. But other than that, this game, the story mode was just completely trash. It was unoriginal, and again, it made 0 sense whatsoever. It didn't really put me in an emotional wreck like some of the other games before it. It was just unoriginal, and then the The extinction mode, the first map wasn't so bad though. It was okay. But when you start playing it over and over again, you kind of realize how boring it gets. And keep in mind, there's only one map at launch with Call of Duty Ghost. Unlike the other games like Black Ops 1, it had 3 maps at launch. It had Kino der Toten, 5, and Dead Ops Arcade. Black Ops 2, what did it have? It had Town, Farm, and Nuketown, pretty much. What did Ghost have? It had Point of Contact. That's the only extinction map that it had for survival instinct. And quite frankly, it was okay in the beginning, but then when you start playing with other people and you start maybe playing with hardcore, it's the same thing over and over again. And the fact that the other good maps that are on there are locked behind DLC paywalls. So you need to really think about that twice right there. And the multiplayer, it was the worst multiplayer experience I've ever had in my life. And quite frankly, it's just completely trash. Uh, who the fuck thought it was a good idea to make a bunch of gigantic maps at launch? Like Stonehaven, Siege, and Strike Zone. Who the fuck made those maps, Infinity Ward? Who made those maps? Seriously. Those maps were all over the place. It looked like they were trying to bring some stuff from Battlefield 4, but quite frankly, Battlefield 4 shit on this game 100% though. Call of Duty Ghost, you are an embarrassment to the franchise. And here's another thing. Remember when people were making fun of like Call of Duty, saying that Call of Duty was dead around when 2011 or 2012? Well, I'll tell you what, Call of Duty Ghost killed the fucking franchise, and I'm gonna tell you that right now. This game killed the franchise, and I'll tell you this right now. This game could have been number 1 on my list right here hadn't Infinity Ward consumed Pink Dinner when making the new Call of Duty in 2016. So, and for number 2, the reason why for Call of Duty Ghost is again, campaign mode was trash. It was all over the place. Multiplayer was unoriginal. Colors were just terrible. And here's another thing. This was one of these games, the first Call of Duty game that I saw, that the guns were all fucking trash. There was only a few guns that were actually good in my arsenal. The Honey Badger, the Vector, the ARX-160, maybe the AK-12 as well, and then the K7. And then people say, what about the Ripper, though? The Ripper's behind the DLC paywall. How much money you want to pay for that, huh? So yeah, Call of Duty Ghost, terrible game. And the fact is that the safeguard mode that I've seen in that game was completely pathetic. The basically trying to root out from Modern Warfare 3 survival mode. The Call of Duty Ghost is just trash, dude. I could go on and on with this fucking game on how bad it is. It's so trash. And again, on paper, this could have been number 1 though. You know, this could have been number 1, but there's one game, and I've already talked about it many times though, right? And so again, just terrible fucking game in general, right? It's just fucking terrible game in general. Now, I could have probably had some honorable mentions in this list, but I'm not going to go over them in the meantime because you know what? I decided to put them for another video, though. But anyhow, up to number 1. So, we all gave Call of Duty a chance, with Call of Duty Ghost and how bad Ghost was. Well, if there was a game worse than Call of Duty Ghost, what could it be? What could it be, though? What Call of Duty could be worse than Ghosts? I'll tell you what it is. And I've already exposed it multiple times. Coming at a number 1 spot on the top 5 worst Call of Duty, next up, we all know what it is. Modern Warfare Remastered. And again, I mean, come on now. I've already talked about this game and how much I was complaining in videos about the fucking lag and all that shit. But jokes aside, this game absolutely fucking sucks. I mean, in this game, I really do not know why do people still even think that this game is good. I mean, quite frankly, because the fact that they want to head glitch and shit, they want to camp and all that stuff. The thing is that this game, it's not like, on theory, in paper, it's not number 1 material, though. But the reason why it's on here, and why Call of Duty Ghost is not number 1 on here, the reason why this game right here is number 1 material is because the thing is that this game, however much people want to say that this game is good, like this ugly mango face cannot actually stay away from my eyesight ever, And I'm going to say this right now again. Call of Duty MWR, why is it the worst Call of Duty ever? Because they basically got a game which was Call of Duty 4, the greatest shooter of 2007. From Call of Duty 4, they got that great game, and they turned it into a horrifying nightmare. And what I mean by that, let me tell you this right now. Well, the reason why they made it into a horrifying nightmare is because the game, the connection, the microtransactions, everything. It was just so all over the place. And quite frankly, here's another thing, by the way. People were saying that I was complaining about lag. Oh, yeah, there is so much lag in this fucking game. The thing is that I know there was lag in like previous installments of Call of Duty, but man, this game just takes the cake because you know what? How do you get a game from Call of Duty 4 that may have relied on peer-to-peer connection, right? To a game with dedicated servers that don't even run properly. And you give us the middle finger. And another thing too about it is there is literally one gun in this game that cuts through all the fucking lag up in the wazoo. You know what that gun is? The M16. Now, don't get me wrong. The M16 was originally the powerhouse in Call of Duty 4, but there were other weapons to combat against it, like the AK-47, the M4 carbine, the MP5, the AK-74U. You had other weapons to choose from to combat the M16. In this game, MWR, you don't have a chance. You might as well just head glitch and camp and hide the whole game with that damn gun. Because you know what? What's the point of even trying? So, again, this game, again, I could have said, I could have put this on number 2, though. But the reason why I put this on number 1 is because this thing that the community is actually bringing about, it never goes away. And quite frankly, again, play Call of Duty 4. Try to compare it with MWR when you play that game as well. You will see what I mean, though. You'll see what I mean. But other than that, man, that's about it, though. So in the pure results, though, we're gonna go back and we're gonna like talk about exactly every single reason and simple reasons, right? Number 5, advanced warfare. Reason why is because the microtransactions, lag, the maps, and a rarity of finding good guns in the game. Oh, and the exo zombies, like, yeah, guaranteed it must have been behind a paywall, which is not a good thing, though. Story mode wasn't so bad, but other than that, that's it with Advanced Warfare. Number 4, COD World War II. Same thing, though, right? Story mode was pretty okay, it's pretty decent enough. But the multiplayer and the zombies were just not it, though. And again, the maps at launch were not that good. There was some of them that were pretty bad. Connection was pretty brutal in this game, though, right? And then again, the guns, there was only like there were some that were pretty good, though. But then again, if you wanted the greatest guns in that game, you had to go you had to go pay the paywall. You got to go pay them supply drops. So that's what really killed this game, though, for the COD World War II. And again, zombies was interesting in the beginning, but again, there you go. And then number 3, Black Ops 4. We all know how bad this game was. Like, compared to like Advanced Warfare and World War II, they weren't bad games, though. It's just they weren't good games either. Like, if I have to say, I say mediocre at best, though. But for Black Ops 4, again, you have to rely on the reason number 1. You have to overly rely on the specialists all the time. Otherwise, you will not win the game. Number 2 is that the only interesting out of this was that the fact that there was some guns in the game that were pretty good, but other than that, the maps weren't even that good. And the thing is that they brought back some maps at launch, like some of the old maps, but again, they don't play the way that they should be playing. Reason number 3, though, is zombies. The only thing that was interesting with zombies is the premise crew. That's it. Blood of the Dead. That's it. And again, reason number 4, this game is really corny. It's not a Call of Duty game. It's nothing but an Overwatch shooter game. That's pretty much, in simple terms, Black Ops 4 is just an Overwatch shooter. That's your classic Overwatch hero shooter game. That's all it is. And then Call of Duty Ghost. Bad campaign. It had a bad dialogue. It had bad storytelling, and then it had a bad ending. Again, you could literally play that game. The game was playing you the whole time. Extinction. It was fine in the beginning, but it gets boring really fast. Trust me when I tell you to. And if you want to buy the DLC in the game, you got to pay up, bro. Safeguard, probably the worst game mode ever. I mean, you have to, like, here's another thing with Safeguard and Call of Duty Ghost. You are playing, when you play solo, you are literally playing the amount that four people will be playing online Safeguard with everyone, right? So good luck with that, though. And multiplayer, terrible. I mean, don't get me wrong, the Pick 12 system with the perk system wasn't pretty bad, but again, the multiplayer was really bad, though. The launch maps were so bad. There was only a few guns that you could pick that were actually pretty good. And quite frankly, let's keep it real here, guys. Here's another thing that's wrong with Ghost: kill streaks. The only good kill streaks that I saw were the support kill streaks. That's it. That's it. And then, yeah, that's pretty much it with Ghost. And then MWR, the reason why, and this is the biggest reason why, is that they literally got this, they literally took a game from 2007, a great game, and just grabbed a bucket of liquid shit and just put it all over on this thing. And just, that's what they did with that game. That's what they did. You got ridiculous supply drops that put more OP weapons in that game. You put all this ridiculous cosmetics and all that stuff that we've never seen from the original Call of Duty 4, and you made it ridiculous. And the fact is that they decided to put more prestige emblems and make it take way too long to fucking level up in this game as well. Oh, here's another thing too. The connection in this game is also bad too, because sometimes you can get into a game or you have to use every ounce of your internet supply just to do well in this game. I mean, jokes aside, man, this game, just terrible, man. Just absolutely terrible. Like, I just don't know why this game. You could literally go back and play Call of Duty 4. I mean, you could literally play Call of Duty 4 on the PC dedicated server, by the way. So you don't have to deal with the hackers in the original hardware. But man, I mean, this game, honestly, well, there's your reasoning right there. There you go, guys. Keep in mind, this is just, again, there you have it, guys. Top 5 worst Call of Duty ever. Anyways, what do you guys think, though? And I'll tell you this right now, again. The Warzone video game, the Warzone era games that I will talk about, I will explain them in another video. I'll put another top 5. I'll actually put a top 5 on them, for sure. But these games, again, I'll tell you this right now. You had some that were, that had a little bit of good, a little bit of bad. You had some that were pretty bad. And then you had some games that were just completely, just utterly trash, though. So you see how we go right here from there at that point, But anyhow, these are my top 5 call. This is my top 5 Call of Duty video that I made right here. And again, keep in mind, don't attack the dude. Hey, we're just playing out here, and all that, just playing video games and whatnot. And so, hey, personal take, some of you guys may have different takes than I do, but hey, this is what I see and what I know as an experienced Call of Duty veteran. See you guys in the next one. Peace.